Hello and welcome to the weekend edition of National Focus. I'm Mervin. Coming up, the body of the former president, Dr. Nicholas Liverpool, laid to rest on Friday. Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court holds a special sitting in the honor of the late Dr. Nicholas Liverpool, and thousands of dollars presented to groups and individuals in the Mahaut Constituency on Thursday. Details of our headline stories and more after this.
Changer grand monde pas si poser mado pour chen pièce sigwe qui pas ka faire ou sentir confortable. C'est là pour croiser silence là. Child abuse affaire vice et puis enfant, c'est yon sigwe ou pas si poser chen. Pour plus d'informations à sous affaire vice et puis enfant, child abuse, contactez département social welfare à sous 33 Great Marlborough Street. But telephone 266-2080 or 266-3020. Afternoon.
Thank you for staying with us. The body of former President of Dominica, Dr. Nicholas Joseph Orville Liverpool, was laid to rest on Friday. His Excellency President of Dominica, Charles Savre and Mrs. Savre, the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, and members of Cabinet, Honorable Speaker of the House of Assembly Alex Boyd Knight, members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, and hundreds of nationals attended the state funeral at the Grand Bay Roman Catholic Church. The late Dr. Nicholas Liverpool served as President of Dominica from October 2nd, 2003 to September 17, 2012, after a long and distinguished career as a law lecturer, judge, and diplomat. The deceased former president passed away on June 1st in Miami. Meantime, a special sitting of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court of Justice was held at the House of Assembly in Roseau on Thursday to remember the deceased Dr. Liverpool. The sitting was attended by the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Alex Boyd Knight, government officials, appeal and high court judges, members of the Dominica Bar Association, as well as family of the former president. Director of Public Prosecution, Evelina Baptist, described the late Dr. Liverpool as a leading generational changer. She reminded those present of the conferring of the Order of the Caribbean Community on Dr. Liverpool in 2008.
Lords, the order is granting CARICOM nationals whose legacy in economic, political, social, cultural change of the region has been phenomenal, outstanding. And recipients of the order include distinguished Caribbean persons such as Sir George Lamin, Sir Sridhar Rampal, Sir Gary Sobers, Rex Netterford of Jamaica, Sir Norman Manley of Jamaica, and also the Lords, Dame Mary Eugenia Charles, and Justice Telford Georges, both of whom came from this blessed land. He was certainly bound to this. The Lord, His Excellency's support for regional development and stability.
The president of the Dominica Bar Association, Mary Roberts, described Dr. Liverpool as an accomplished academic and legal luminary.
My Lord, having served on the executive of the Dominica Bar Association, I can unreservedly say that we frequently called upon Dr. Liverpool. My Lord, his contribution, whenever we sought it, was given with unreservedness. My Lord, he willingly met with us. We were able to openly and frankly discuss any matter, and he offered his advice in his calm yet decisive manner. He was a statesman, my Lord, a gentleman, and someone who young counsel found it easy to call upon. Justice Liverpool dispersed his pearls of wisdom in his gentle, soft, authoritative manner. My Lord, his career at the bar and the bench can only be said as being exemplary, and one which the junior counsel should seek to emulate.
In more news, the Honorable Minister for Commerce, Enterprise and Small Business Development, Rosalind Paul, says government has been and will continue to strengthen the sector in the new financial year. In her remarks at the opening ceremony of a three-day training program in Portsmouth, Honorable Paul highlighted government's efforts in creating a more enabling environment for business development and enterprise. She says one example is a rural-based development center pilot project.
We have started a pilot project. We're starting in 3 communities where we are going to use existing, for example, community resource centers to incubate some small businesses to, for example, hold their hands and take them through to become more effective, efficient, and independent.
Honorable Paul added that the Small Business Center initiative also forms part of government's endeavors.
It is a sort of centralized support network for provision of business counseling, information management, and needs-based education that you can benefit from. So we will have at least 2 different centers where people can go if they need business counseling. We'll be doing that in partnership, for example, with the National Development Foundation of Dominica and Dominica State College. You can build alliances with each other. You can get the necessary education and sensitization. So this we are working towards.
The minister says the Dominica Labour Party government is also working towards strengthening partnerships for stimulating new cottage-type industries. Honorable Paul referenced other initiatives undertaken by the Dominica Labour Party government.
We also have planned the scaling up or the hand-holding program for those enterprises meeting our set criteria that can lead entrepreneurs to being more independent and lucrative. We also as well have an upcoming research project for updated information on small and medium enterprises in Dominica that will be led by the Research Institute affiliated to the Dominica State College. This research will better inform us of the best strategies that we can take on towards improved entrepreneurship and small business development in Dominica.
Honorable Paul indicated that her ministry is also looking to boost manufacturing and private sector development in the new financial year. According to the Honorable Minister, the voice of the people will not go unheard, as her ministry will host consultations with stakeholders to ensure the implementation of various policies and legislations for development of the sector and to meet the needs of the people. You're watching National Focus. Still to come, thousands of dollars presented to individuals and groups in the Mahaut Constituency.
Did you know the Caribbean Court of Justice is 2 courts in 1? The CCJ has 2 functions: an original jurisdiction, which deals with your right to move between CARICOM countries freely and your right to move your money and your business. This is the basis of the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME, and the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, and an appellate jurisdiction to hear appeals from courts of those countries which decide to use it as their final court of appeal and no longer go to the Privy Council. All CARICOM member states who have signed the agreement establishing the CCJ are members of the CCJ.
Welcome back. The Honourable Parliamentary Representative for the Mahaut Constituency, Rayburn Blackmore, continues to take action to improve the lives of his constituents. On Thursday, Honourable Blackmore presented outboard motors to Mark Masler and Leon Alexander at a ceremony at the Mahaut Market.
We have a situation whereby we catch more fish than we consume locally. So we have to sell the surplus. And there are a number of young persons who have spoken to me over the years, and they have said to me that they need an outboard motor, they need a boat. But I believe that you have to help people to contribute towards mainstream society, but people themselves must help themselves. And in that regard, therefore, I believe that I want to work with the St. Paul's fisher folks to create what we call a revolving fund, so that they can identify persons within the fishing community who can be assisted. So I want to start off with donating these 2 outboard motors.
The outboard motors cost over $8,000 and recipients are expected to make a monthly contribution to the St. Paul's Fisher Folk for the next 2 years. Honorable Blackmore also presented a check of $4,200 to the Mahaut Fisheries Cooperative for the purchase of a fish aggregate device, or FAD. At Thursday's ceremony, the Honorable Mahaut MP also handed over the keys of a brand new 3-bedroom house to Ruby Alexander.
We continue to identify persons in the various communities in the constituencies and to see how we can help them. One such person that we have been able to identify, and I can say to you that the house is completed and we have been able to construct for her a 3-bedroom house. And her name is Ruby. Ruby sometimes experiences some medical problems. And her significant other, her boyfriend, who is from Mahaut, died many years ago.
And is indeed grateful for what was presented to me today, the keys to my home. The government of Dominica, I say thank you for this kind gesture in providing a home for my children and I. To my pal rep, Honorable Mervin Blackmore, I say thank you.
The Mahaut MP also presented $65,000 towards road rehabilitation work on the Mount Georgian to Campbell Link Road and the continuation of roadworks in Sibuli.
What I want to see happen is to have a one-way traffic arrangement where vehicles will be traversing from this direction going back into Campbell Road. And I think that is commendable.
The Honorable Blackmore presented a check of $14,000 to the Mahaut Senior Citizens Home, and certificates of appreciation were presented to members of the Mahaut Labor Youth Organization. Effective July 1st, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank will no longer issue 1 and 2 cent pieces to the commercial banks. The decision was taken at the meeting of a monetary council in February. Shuma John is resident representative for the ECCB.
This means that the commercial banks will not be issuing 1 and 2 cent pieces to vendors, to institutions, and so customers will not be able to get 1 and 2 cent pieces. What is going to happen is that at the supermarkets, at the stores, at the utility companies, when you go in to purchase goods or services, your total bill will be rounded to the nearest 5 cents increment. What does that mean? That means that the customers are going to get either 2 cents more or less, 1 or 2 cents more or less when they pay for goods and services. So for example, if your good or service ends in 92 cents, we will round you down to 90 cents. And if it ends in 94 cents or 93 cents, you will be rounded up to 95 cents. So in any one purchase, and we are speaking about the total goods and services, you will suffer a loss or a gain of 1 or 2 cents. And that's how it's going to be throughout the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. That is the 8 countries which use the EC dollar.
John explains that one of the reasons that the council took the decision was because of the high cost involved in the production of the coins.
We are paying 6 cents to produce every 1 cent, and we are paying 8 cents to produce every 2 cents. And so that production cost, it is extremely expensive, and what is happening is that when we give in, or when we send out the 1 and 2 cents into circulation, we are not getting them back. And so we have to produce much more 1 and 2 cents. And we are seeing them in the gutters, we are seeing them all over. And the public has also indicated that because it is of little value, they do not really worry too much about them. And so even if they would fall, they would not pick them up. So it will also help the businesses in terms of checking their cash at the end of the day. They will no longer have to be dealing with the tedious task of counting the 1 and 2 cent pieces. We are working with the businesses, and we are hoping that customers, businesses, they all come on board, and we do not expect any great inconvenience, but we're asking the customers, the general public, if they have any questions, they can visit our website. That's the ECCB website at www.eccb-centralbank.org, or they are free to visit our office on the 3rd floor Financial Center. So that is effective 1st of July. We're also saying that customers are still able to use their 1 and 2 cents pieces. So if you have the exact change, so you at a supermarket and your total goods up to 93 cents, and you have exactly 93 cents, the businesses will accept it. So you will not be affected if you pay the exact 93 cents. We will take in the 1 and 2 cents, the businesses. But do not expect to get change in 1 or 2 cents pieces. If your transaction ends in 0 or 5 cents, you will not be affected. If you're paying with credit card, debit card, or checks, your transaction total will also not be affected because you can write the exact amount.
Climate change communication specialists and media professionals from across the OECS region will soon be more effective in communicating the issues relating from climate change to the public. From June 18 to 19, the OECS project Rallying the Region to Action on Climate Change is hosting a symposium in St. Kitts dubbed Communicating Climate Change. 43 participants from across the region will learn how to demystify the complexities of climate change by understanding how to break down the scientific and technical terms relating to climate change. Participants are also expected to build more awareness relating to the topic. Project Communications Specialist Tekla Fontenad says some of the issues in communicating climate change are vague and abstract terminology, complexity of climate change jargon, and the uncertainty of those communicating the issues. This symposium is the first of its kind in the OECS region and is also a first for RAC, funded by US aid. Media professionals from Dominica, including the Government Information Service, are represented at that forum. GIS will bring you more from that symposium in a subsequent newscast. And before we leave you, here's an announcement. The Cultural Vision is inviting nominations for the 2015 Golden Drum Awards. Persons, groups, or institutions being nominated should have at least 20 years' experience in the field of culture, and the work of the person or group should have a positive impact in Dominica. Nominations are also invited for Special Recognition Awards. Special Recognition Awards are issued to such persons, groups, and institutions who have made a contribution in culture for less than 20 years, and to those who have achieved notable successes in a particular field of arts and culture. Nomination forms are available at the Old Mill Cultural Center, the Arrow House of Culture, and the Ministry of Culture at the government headquarters. All nominations should reach the Division of Culture at the Old Mill Canefield by Monday, June 30th.
Alors tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non moins, c'est McPherson Saint-Luce. Premièrement, le gouvernement Dominique bat ancien président Dr. Nicholas Liverpool, ont lettrement l'état judéen. Président His Excellency Charles Sovereign et Madame Sovereign, Premier Ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, Membre Parlement, Speaker Alex Boyd Knight, d'autres membres Parlement, diplomatique corps ensemble et puis dignité de l'autre pays, et Dominique même, attendez lettrement là qui prend place en l'église catholique en Gouambé. Dr. Liverpool, le président Dominique Hord l'année 2003 pour l'année 2012, après il travaillé en plaisir opposition au latin. Dr. Liverpool mort assis le 1er juin l'année 2015 et quitté derrière Madame Liverpool ensemble et puis 5 enfants. En la nouvelle, le gouvernement Dominique assisté moun par programme Révolution Kai. Parole ça là sorti de membre parlement Kachakou, Honorable Ian Pinard. Honorable Pinard mentionné développement qui prend place en Union Estate en La Pointe.
Depuis le gouvernement a venu, nous commençons à développer Union Estate. Et puis actuellement, nous avons presque 300 lots pour moun à La Pointe et puis moun Dominique. Et puis, où est l'Union Estate actuellement? Ça, c'est plus mais housing development à Dominique actuellement. On est gros chimie, on est sidewalks, on est street light, on est tout bagaille. Et puis, à partir de moun a constructed Caillou à Union Estate de La Pointe, si vous allez là, vous avez à partir de Caillou. Ça, c'est développement gouvernement qui a mis en place. nous decide nous aller dans housing revolution. Nous mettons 4% increase en government housing load board, 5% increase à aid bank, et puis actuellement aid bank nous va venir encore, et puis 6.5 increase à les mortgages. So gouvernement continue pour assister monde et puis housing revolution là.
Autre nouvelle, Monetary Council East Caribbean Central Bank prend une décision pour arrêter échouer yon et puis des sous pour banque commerciale en pays OECS. Selon officier East Caribbean Central Bank à Dominic Sherman John, bagay ça là a commencé le 1er juillet l'année là.
1er juillet, ICCB, ça c'est bac là qui ka ba, c'est commercial bac là l'argent. Nous paquet ba yo 100 et 200 accord. So c'est bac là paquet ni ça pour ba c'est business là. So la moun ale à da supermarché là, si yo ale payer bills yo ni pour payer 200, 100 ou 200 plus ou 100 ou 200 mes. So nous ka di moun, nous les moun connaît ça, so yo paquet surprise là yo ale faire affaires yo à da supermarché là. So ça qui fait tout moun qui passete, tout le monde qui ni section, nous kamade yo pour qui est office nous à ICCB et nous ke ba yo pli information comme ça.
Et puis finalement, General Manager Dominic Boutillier Mackenzie a créé ainsi d'autres locations business à Dominique pour assister Education Trust Fund. Mackenzie fait parole ça pendant la compagnie là, te fait donation $10,000 pour Education Trust Fund.
Nous avons créé tout nos affaires Dominique, tout le monde qui ni business comme on dit pour teasing l'argent. Ça ou ça ba. Pas dit ça mon calé ba trop petit so marqué bay. Tout si ou métier puis mon métier, monsieur Willy février Kenny Valéa il besoin pour gagner les livres là. Payer l'école là pour les trucs là ba yo uniforme les bagages comme ça parce que sans ces enfants besoin ça et puis Education Trust Fund a fait un bon travail.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en créole pour à présent. Non moins c'est McPherson Luce. Ni un bon week-end. Au revoir.
Coming up next, your tip of the day.
Un bon maman qui a protégé les enfants. Il ne peut pas accepter l'argent et bien matouiller pour fermer bouche et bien pour tout faire ça qui fait. Un beau papa qui a protégé les enfants et bien il ne peut pas abuser. Pour plus d'informations à sous affaires vice et petits enfants, child abuse, contactez Department Social Welfare à sous 33 Great Marlborough Street. The telephone is 266-2080 or 266-3020. Afternoon.
When you're tired and need a lift, pass on the coffee or those expensive caffeinated multi-hour energy shots and have a club soda with lime. The carbonation and aroma will energize you. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website at news.gov.dm. You can like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow us on Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Mervin. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.